Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome to today's video where we're going to have a bit of an early look at the abilities of Medusa in Marvel Contest of Champions and kind of give out some predictions for the character and explain, at least to the best of my understanding, how this character works, kind of the values that she has and the interactions that she has. And very early on, I'm kind of dubbing Medusa as the Cosmic Gwenpool in regards to the fact that she's going to have, by my prediction, just absolutely insane damage output, really good armor break, and really good bleed effects as well. So kind of that's the reason why I'm calling her the Cosmic Gwenpool at the moment. Obviously, she's lacking stuff like the power lock on the special 2, and also the defensive ability accuracy reduction and the ability to survive specials when awakened. But she does have other interesting stuff like poison immunity, and also a stun on the special 2 that you can kind of reliably get off if you play a certain way, and that stun 100% of the time if you play a certain way, and also it lasts 3.5 seconds, so there are potential scenarios with power gain where you could have like infinite stun. You know, if you've got like a double power gain node, it might be possible to get 100% uptime on that stun. So yeah, bit of an interesting one there. I'm incredibly excited for Medusa myself, very much debating going for her as a 5-star. But anyway, let's talk about some of her abilities. So I think we'll start off probably with the signature ability, which is interesting to bear in mind. So I've done some calculations on the what the values are for kind of the fury, the bleed, based off this character's assumed base attack. So just to explain where I'm getting kind of all the numbers from, this is her on master mode. She has 1,804 attack, but she also has a double attack and health boost. So this, you know, like her base attack is going to be 902, and then in terms of abilities, like when bringing up a character's abilities, as far as I'm aware, when you bring them up, it doesn't account any kind of team synergies that you currently have, or kind of any nodes that are in effect. So yeah, I'm assuming that everything is based on the base attack of this champion being 902, and also bear in mind in terms of kind of values scaling upward, she's a 5-star champion, she's a rank 2, level 25, so in terms of like ranking this champion up and having more effectiveness, like there's potential that these values in terms of the bleed could go up even more when you get this character to like rank 3 or rank 4, or maybe even looking at the future rank 5 as a 5-star. So it looks like there is a lot of potential for this character to grow. So anyway, starting off, the signature ability is Medusa gains a fury buff every 3 seconds up to 3 stacks, each increasing attack by 17% per fury buff. And once you've reached 3 fury buffs, after 14 seconds, they will expire and then go again. So for the majority of the fight, you are going to have a 51% attack bonus active, which is pretty good if you have it awakened. And the secondary component of that is when struck twice, Medusa has a, well, it's 80% chance. That actually goes up to, I believe, about 90%, a dupe level 200 as a 5-star, but those are always a little bit iffy. Chance to auto-block with her hair, breaking the opponent's combo for the cost of 3 fury buffs. And this can trigger parry. I actually don't think this is going to be very useful at all. It might be useful if you're playing the character and you screw up and you take a couple of hits, because that might parry and offer a bit of a safety buffer, providing that you are on free fury. But as a defender, I think Medusa's special attacks are just way too easy to avoid, and she doesn't really have enough going on for her that's going to make her kind of a viable Alliance War defender. Might be alright to put down if you want to throw the occasional person off, but you can either, you know, bring a nullified champion or kind of just be patient and play around, you know, wait for those fury stacks to kind of dissipate. So yeah, I'm not really too sure about Medusa being a viable defender, because she's so easy to roll over in master mode for sure. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is the armor break mechanic. So she gains armor break under 2 different criteria. One on her medium attack, and this one only lasts for 3.6 seconds. And then also on the special attack 1, that's 4 hits, and that's 4 guaranteed armor breaks. And if you get to a total of 6 active armor breaks, you activate an armor shatter debuff, which lasts for 26 seconds. Again, there is potential that this could increase as the champion kind of ranks up, but the fact that it's not green kind of indicates that it probably won't. However, the amount of armor broken, you know, is going to increase as the champion is ranked up. So yeah, bit of a big armor break there, but armor shatter lasts 26 seconds and also allows additional stuff to do. And the way that you can activate that is probably doing kind of a shortened like medium, double light medium combo straight into the special 1, or doing like just like a double medium special 1 combo. So I think it's going to be pretty easy to maintain, if I'm honest. And then while the armor is shattered, all your critical light attacks and all heavy attacks have a 100% chance to inflict bleed, and this will deal 2% of your attack as direct damage per stack until Armor Shatter expires. So every light attack is going to be continually applying a 2% bleed, and you're going to get quite a decent amount of value out of that over the duration. So, you know, that's a nice little bonus, but it's certainly not where the chunk of damage comes from. I think where the big chunk of damage comes from is the special attack too, and to me this just seems absolutely ridiculous if my calculations are right on it. So Medusa performs a 10-hit combo, so each hit has a 60% chance to inflict a bleed if the Armor Shatter is active, and this will deal 40% of your attack as damage over 2 seconds, right? So it's going to be, you know, on the average scenario, you fire off 10 hits, 60% chance, on average like 6 of them are going to trigger bleed, so that is 240% of your attack as bleed damage. However, you have to bear in mind this is a very, very short bleed, so it gains an insane benefit from the Deep Wounds Mastery, which literally, you know, takes it, if you got 5 out of 5 points, from 240%, because it increases it from a 2-second duration, adds an additional 5 ticks, so it takes it from 4 ticks to 9 ticks. So yeah, ups it from 240% of your attack to 540% of your attack on average. Like, she benefits an insane amount from the Deep Wounds Mastery, and I think you're going to have some really, really hard-hitting special 2s. And I think with the way that you play this champion, I think if you play her well and right, there's a good chance within that 26-second duration that you can get kind of 2 of these special attack 2s off. So yeah, very, very interested to kind of see that work. And under the best case scenario, you know, if all 10 of your hits were to trigger that bleed, that is 900% of your attack as bleed damage over 4.5 seconds, which, you know, that has some pretty bonkers synergies with, you know, especially considering, you know, this champion has a Fury as base. You know, most of the time you can have 51% additional attack, chucking stuff like Suicide Masteries, damage boosts. I can see some, like, real craziness for the special 2 going on there. So yeah, that is just what I think is really gonna like propel this character's damage. It's just kind of like everything working together. You know, you got the Fury, which is gonna be making everything hit really hard. The armor break is gonna be making your regular attacks, because it is a really big armor break as well. They're gonna be hitting substantially harder as well. And the special attack too, you know, that potential, like, well, out on average 540% bleed damage. That's not even including the damage from the actual like 10-hit combo on the special too. So yeah, I think there are going to be all sorts of scenarios and quests where Medusa is going to be like absolute insanity, specifically. You know, not that it's the biggest challenge at the moment, but there's a chapter in Act 5 where, you know, for every hit that you get on the opponent, like, they start with a big chunk of armor, and every hit, like, it applies like another armor break debuff, and it goes infinitely, just ramping up your damage constantly. So if there's ever any champion or an encounter that has some sort of mechanic where you need to just land an insane amount of hits, maybe to like break a shield to prevent regeneration or prevent damage back, which I think would actually be a really cool mechanic, then Medusa just might be like an MVP for a scenario like that. So bit of an interesting one. And then finally you have another way to get your Armor Shatter, which is on the special attack 3, and this one actually lasts a little bit longer than the one, you know, getting 6 stacks of armor break, and this one is for 35 seconds, so comparatively, that's only 9 seconds longer. I think, realistically speaking, most people will be activating the Armor Shatter, you know, if you're playing very aggressively, by like a double medium, straight into special 1 combo. To me, just kind of having a glance at the duration of the armor break, you know, it being 3.6 seconds off the medium attack, you know, I think it's going to be incredibly short. You're just going to need to play very aggressively there, but it doesn't really seem too hard to pull off. And then the final thing is the poison immunity on Medusa, which again, just, you know, is a great thing for cosmic characters to have. That's one of the things that I wish Angela had, because I really like Angela. She's got some great damage, but yeah, just wish she had a little bit of poison immunity as well. And the final thing that I was talking about toward the start of the video is the second component of the special attack too. So if you are on any sort of node or any sort of fight where you need a stun instead of insane damage, maybe to, you know, continually get from like a special 1 to a special 2 to try and avoid that, you can just not enter the armor shatter mode, and your special attack 2, instead of doing this bleed, is going to stun the opponent for 3.5 seconds, and that is a really, really long stun. I think in the duration of that stun, providing you have the you know, stun duration increase mastery, I think you can get off a full 5-hit combo and then a double medium and then go into another full 5-hit combo. So I think there is potential, you know, if there is like 100% increased power gain node, which we have seen at events in the past, like the Dormammu one, or even a 200% increase one or something like that, there is really good potential for this to be a champion that has infinite stun that is reliable, because, you know, it doesn't state any chance here, it states a guaranteed stun. So yeah, at the moment, I'm just incredibly hyped for Medusa. I think initially, you know, when her abilities were leaked, although I was at Reading Festival and not really paying a superb amount of attention, a lot of people were talking about this character as a defender, but I think now that the full abilities are out, like, I just see this character as, you know, my early prediction is that she's just going to be an absolutely insane attacker. I think she... there's a chance that she could take Hyperion's spot. Hyperion is an incredibly good champion, but my kind of hope is that she kind of rivals with Hyperion and gets very close. Because yeah, they're both, you know, very good damage output champions. So yeah, very cool to see that. But yeah, I'm very excited for Medusa to come to the game in a couple of weeks' time. Not too sure if I'm gonna go for her as a 5-star. I think I'm gonna wait and see. Maybe get the 3-star. Maybe see some 4-star gameplay first. Just make sure, you know, I've got all the values calculated correctly. But yeah, I have very high hopes for this champion. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of Medusa in the comments below. Are you excited for this character? Are you a bit more excited for Kingpin? Let me know kind of your predictions for exactly how good she's going to be and where she's going to rank. You know, initially, just looking at the crazy damage potential, I think there's a very good chance she could fall into the demigod tier, but yeah, I don't know. There is potential if the bleed damage is insane enough that she just might make it into the god tier, but I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but I'm definitely getting some major demigod vibes from Medusa currently. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.